Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've made a couple videos that I have either just recently posted or I'm about to post, and the theme of them is shopping at the Goodwill bins. I think currently our economy is taking kind of a toll on business owners and the smaller businesses out there. And I think that it's just getting a lot harder for folks to make ends meet. And so I think that reselling is a great opportunity, even if you are just doing it part-time along with your job, which is what I've been doing. So it's a really great avenue to consider if you want to make a few extra bucks for yourself and your family and whatnot. So you've probably seen some of my other videos. A lot of them have to do with the more higher tier luxury items and mid-tier items that do okay, but to be honest, in the last couple of years, they've kind of slowed down a little bit. And so part of my business model is actually selling things from the bins. I think this is a great place to start if you're just starting out, but still a great place to be if you are a veteran in this field. So without further ado, if those things sound interesting to you, please like and subscribe to my channel. You'll be notified of new videos that I post. So let's get into the meat of this video. I love hats for a number of reasons. To just name a few, they're very lightweight. They're not going to be heavy for you to carry around. Sometimes you can have 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds of stuff from the bins, and it can just like really wear down on you. But these hats, they don't weigh a whole lot, which means you're not going to be lugging around a bunch of weight. Whether you're just getting them from the store or you are storing them in your inventory. So that's one of my favorite things. You're not breaking your back moving them around, but they also don't weigh a lot, which means that you are not going to be paying a lot to ship them out, which is another great thing. They're small. They're not going to take up a lot of room in your inventory, in your home, if that's where you're storing. So those are just some of the reasons that I love hats. Because they're small, they're also very easy to photograph. So I thought that I would organize this video into different groups of hats that you can be on the lookout for and focus on buying. And another thing that you'll notice is I actually have just stuck to showing you examples that I have actually sold. And I could spend all day long showing you all the hats that I have bought that haven't sold, that are just listed and have been in my closet for a really long time, or ones that I just have listed. But I really just kind of wanted to stick to the ones that have actually completed the sale, so that you get an idea of, these are actually kind of tested out items. So my first category that I want to go through is the type of hats that people would wear at their job as part of their uniform. And I think this is in part a great category because people probably only have like a certain amount of money that they can use for their uniforms, or maybe when you start out the job you only get like a couple sets of uniforms, and so with time you can imagine they're going to get worn, they're going to get dirty, they're going to kind of get used to the point beyond repair, and so people are going to want more of those things to wear to their job, and so that's a great category to look for. So these are just some examples. Grocery stores, different, UPS store, Amazon delivery folks, even like more esoteric brands like this Shimadzu brand, Scientific Instruments. I'd never heard of that before, but sold immediately, like right after listing. Coffee shops, restaurants, certain brands, because maybe they work there or they sell that brand. The Apple store. So these are all really good things that made a good profit. Okay, next one is expensive hobbies, or just like hobbies in general, is another great category. So people love to show off their very expensive hobbies, or just like their general hobbies. So these are just some examples. So Prince, tennis brand, sold immediately, like within a day. I think I had listed it on multiple platforms and got multiple offers. I kind of held out and someone just bought it outright within like 24 to 48 hours. It was great. Golfing brands do really well. Boating and like boating equipment do really well. People love their sailing, they love their surfing. Collectibles is another thing to kind of keep in mind. Fishing, this is not a great cost that this item sold for, but I know I have lots of other fly fishing items that have done really well, and I couldn't find an example of them, but this was one example that I thought I would show. And then this Pokemon hat, people love the collectibles, and so that's another great thing to keep in mind. Next up is alcohol, specific brands of it, bars and restaurants. If someone is like a really big fan of that particular place or that particular brand of alcohol, I find that people love to buy hats with it. So that's another great one to keep in mind. Sometimes the more kind of like obscure the brand is, the better it does. So that's something that I have noticed seems to do well. All right, sports, special events, and like universities or like alma maters that people went to tend to do really well. Here are a couple examples of kind of some of my highest selling items that have done really well. So everybody has, some alma mater, some university in your area. You definitely all have events in your areas. So you might have a lot of these items available to you. And another thing to keep in mind is people make more than just hats with these particular things. They make shirts and jackets and all sorts of things. And so that's another thing to keep in mind. All right. Next up, kind of along the lines of hobbies, expensive hobbies, is cars and racing. And these are, again, just a couple examples. I have definitely sold more, but I really wanted to show you the ones that say sold and the price of them, to just really prove to you that these are items that definitely sold. People love their expensive brand of cars, but sometimes, even the not as expensive, people are really big fans of those brands, and so they really want to like show that off. And then racing, people are super into racing, I have found, and so anytime you can find like that racing stuff, and again, not just hats, like any items, definitely pick that up. Okay, I think I already kind of mentioned like vacations that people might go on for fly fishing or surfing or sailing or whatever, or like Disney stuff can do really great, especially items that were actually sold at the park, which I still need to like do more research into figuring out exactly what those items are. But these are just some examples from Disney, and then also national park stuff tends to do really well. So another item to kind of keep in mind. And then I believe this is my last kind of section, but things that are just on trend and fashionable, but then also things that people might wear like while they're just out and about, which I guess hats are just in general in that theme. But like if they're working out or kind of lounging around, those are items to keep in mind, especially if you can find a nice photo of that item. All right, guys, and that is essentially kind of the meat of the video there. Please check out my other videos. I hope that you enjoyed what we discussed today, but I have more videos out there coming out specifically about the bins if that's what you're into, but I have lots of other videos kind of giving some luxury item reviews, figuring out if items are fake or real, how to take care of some of your luxury items, how to restore and repair some of your items. So lots of good things on my channel. Please check it out. And if you liked everything that we talked about today, please like and subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified of other videos that come out when they come out. All right, guys. Thank you. See you later.